This is the Don't Hide the Scars podcast, presented by Pain, Parents and Addicts in Need. Welcome to Pain's Don't Hide the Scars podcast. I'm Jason LaChance, here with the founder of Pain, Mr. Flindt Andersen. How are you, good sir?
Good, Jason. What's new with you?
Well, we're not going to take up the podcast with that because we've got our friend with us, Mr. Dino Miliotis, looking dapper as always, making all of us gentlemen that are aging look bad because, damn. All right. What's happening, Dino?
What's going on, my brother? How you doing?
Doing well, doing well. We're going to dig right in. We've had you on before talking about OpiAID. This thing continues to move. Flindt and I brought that perspective around how this is shifting addiction recovery. And so we want to dive in a little bit more. I mean, where's a good place to start?
Where's a good place to start? Let's give an aerial view. By the way, it's great to see you both. It's the Three Amigos hour, I think, right? So basically, again, Dino Miliotis. I've been a lifelong entrepreneur, and I am the spokesperson for OpiAID, and I now head up the commercial licensing side of the house for OpiAID. As an entrepreneur, I mean, I hit a couple home runs that actually had global impact. And right at my peak, I was taken out of the game because of a horrible addiction to drugs and alcohol that, you always think you could beat, but I couldn't do it on my own. So I had to go into treatment. And I could have been a statistic, as we all know, we hear about the failure rates day in and day out, but I made it. But while in treatment, I think that personal experience for me is kind of a blessing, what I went through, because it's the reason that I totally understand what OpiAID is all about, okay? And that's why I was just like, oh my God, this is changing everything. So, I mean, if you kind of look at it, the way people explain it, you have a wearable. Here's the wearable, by the way.
And let's illustrate for those that are just listening, not watching. When we say wearable, we're talking about smartwatch technology.
Yeah. And so you wear this watch and it'll take biometrics from you. We apply machine learning to it. And what we'll send back to the clinician in near real time are timely and actionable insights that will help them to personalize care. So personalized care, that's a big deal. But the way, you hear it, the way it's explained, it kind of sounds like it kind of goes over people's heads. So
sure, let me just interrupt you. Yeah, we talk biometrics. Let's clarify exactly what the hell that is too.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's break the jargon here. All right,
let's just do it. Okay, unplugged and raw, right?
Yeah. So okay. Let's take me if I was 24 and I wasn't yet at that point of, fun with problems, but okay, let's say I was the problem person with it and I go in and they say, well, biometrics, like, I don't know what the hell does that mean? What is it taking? What do you mean?
Right. Exactly. What's it taking? Is it following me? Of course you're
well, depending on what drug you're coming off of, you're definitely paranoid.
Hey, please don't tell me we've all been there. Okay.
Yes.
Please. Yeah. What? Where?
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
So let me just kind of break it down. Like when I was in treatment, okay, you'll hear things like, everybody recovers differently. Everybody has their own recovery journey, which is true. Okay. Yet in treatment, I'm watching people and everybody, for the most part, was treated the same. You see people in there for fentanyl. You saw people in there for alcohol. You saw cocaine, all the drug spectrum, right? You saw people that were tall, short, slim, right? And you're treating everybody the same. I mean, it didn't make sense to me. But, I needed to get better. I needed to get out of there, right? But when you look at the failure rate, right, the relapse rates, depending on the source, it's 60 to 90%. And that's a failure rate, okay? That means 60 to 90% that go through treatment that quit won't make it, okay? So let's look at that in a different field, okay? If I told you guys that 6 out of 10 times or 9 out of 10 times you get behind the wheel of your car, you're guaranteed you're going to crash. Would you drive?
No.
If I told you that those are the statistics, if you got on a plane, you have 6 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 chances for sure that the plane's going to crash. Would you fly?
No.
I would stay home and I wouldn't leave the house, okay? People would be hysterical if that was true in other aspects of our lives. Lawmakers, you're going to love this, Flindt, would be like outraged. Oh, we got to pass a law. We got to look at this, right? I mean, it would happen. Yet in addiction recovery, we kind of look at that for the last several decades and we're like, well, those are the numbers, right?
Yeah.
Now, let's look at recovery, okay? Outside of the field of addiction recovery. Let's talk about sports. You get a marquee player in any game on a Sunday that you watch, and they're running a play, and then all of a sudden they get injured, and everybody kind of goes, oh, and you think, okay, they're out for the season. And then the next week, they're either practicing or playing. How does that happen? Do they sprinkle magic things over the player and just help them go faster?
Yeah, Ferry does.
Well, here's the trick, okay? It's personalized care. It's been around forever.
Yeah.
Except in addiction recovery, we don't kind of look at it that way. Okay, don't think that that athlete isn't undergoing 24/7 care. He's being monitored, watching his diet, his hydration, making sure proper exercises, the right medication, all of the above. And as they're healing, the treatment is adjusted because obviously you're going to be sore and then the next day it might be better. You may work it out. You follow? That's why they recover so quickly. This is what OpiAID is doing. We're trying to better the numbers of recovery, to increase the recovery rates of success by personalizing care.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Let me give a good analogy again around the sports thing. So, all right, we take our Green Bay Packer quarterback, just a salute to Flint's favorite team, and as a Niners fan, Brock Purdy's already been hurt. We don't need any more of that this season. So we got that QB, right? And the thing you said, it is that personalized care. It is there. What this offers, and what I've heard, and since I've met you, Dino, and we've talked around this, is it creates that greater opportunity for each and every individual. It doesn't mean you have to have the millions of dollars backing you, because now a doctor, let's say their patient load is 60 people or something, and people go, oh, that's not that much. Yes, it is when you're trying to take and analyze all of the biometrics. So when we talk biometrics, we're talking heart rate. We're talking, you can sense a spike in anxiety, all these things, especially if you have a patient that doesn't know what anxiety is and that they've had it. Hand up, that would have been me when I was, working my recovery, getting clean. Doctor's like, yeah, you have an anxiety disorder. What the hell is that?
Yeah.
And it took him a while to explain it, me to get it. And then eventually I got home and went, oh man, I've had this since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
I was 40. That's a long time to not know. So now you have something that can monitor all that, takes all that, sends it. The AI does its magical little thing, extrapolates it, and the doctor gets all that information right there. So now we've been able to personalize.
Correct. So imagine that actually Flint's treatment center, New Perceptions North, for anybody who's looking for help, that knows of a loved one or themselves that wants to get better, New Perceptions North, if you're in the Fresno area. There you go, Flindt. But his treatment center proudly was the first to commercialize our technology, OpiAID's technology. So let me tell you what we did there, because it's a perfect example. So his treatment center has detox, it has the inpatient, and it also has outpatient, okay? What we did was we basically integrated our technology into his clinic, and we gave him a customized dashboard that works with our database, okay? For all watch wearers, all the biometrics, all the data goes directly to their personalized dashboard by client. So they could see in real time all of the different variables, all of the different biometrics that we're collecting. So the fact that they're all in the same place is huge, because you never really get that. I mean, they're just in different charts. They're here, they're there. This is all right in one place, so you can start seeing trends. it almost becomes like you could predict things. You see somebody getting better. You see somebody that may need to for somebody to step in or maybe change their treatment. And so it was great to implement all of our technology into Flint's place, because you were able to watch somebody who's very new in detox wear a watch and basically explain that, look, we're not tracking you. We don't care what you do on the internet. We don't care where you go. All we care about is collecting the data that's going to help you recover and get out of here and thrive in recovery, right?
Yeah. Well, so, what it does, Dino, again, you're absolutely right, because what it does is it allows us with our doctors to change those medications in seconds and minutes instead of hours, days, and weeks like we used to do in the past.
Absolutely.
And that itself is an enormous help in that personalized recovery for somebody. And what I also like about it is, me as CEO, it's that computer, that dashboard, whatever you want to call it, it's on my computer as well. So I also can see. So it's just not the tech, it's just not the doctor, it's me, it's my other staff. So now that personalized help is going to everybody that's able to help this person get through that treatment recovery program like we used to have to do in the past, except now we have this that's going to help somebody further.
New Perceptions North, the premier drug and alcohol treatment and recovery center in Central California. A full continuum of medically supervised top quality care with programs for detox and patient residential treatment with dual diagnosis, intensive outpatient treatment, sober living support groups, and more. New Perceptions North provides adult men and women with the highest caliber of professional health care, treating each client with compassion and respect, in a safe, comfortable environment to begin the process of recovery, to proudly create and sustain a life without addiction. Call 559-978-1507 or visit newperceptionsnorth.com.
You know, obviously, if you're in detox, you're going to get an open door every 15 minutes, right? But you're dealing with human elements. You're dealing with somebody who may or may not be in a good mood, may be tired, may have taken a vital but overlooked something else, right? This is 24/7 on you. It's not to replace doctors, I want to make that clear, but it's basically giving them all the help that they need. It's saying, here, we're constantly monitoring all the things that you guys look at that you claim are important. They're all in one place, and now they're trending, and you're getting them in real time. Right. So we start in the detox, right? And if the person completes the detox, then they'll stay in the inpatient. It could be 1 to 30 days. Let's just pretend that that's the normal thing. So they're learning to wear the watch. They're learning to understand what it's doing for them. The clinicians are watching the trends, and they're able to step in at any time and adjust. Don't forget, we all recover different. So somebody may be having a harder time recovering. Somebody may be recovering faster. Are you going to treat them both the same? By looking at our trends, by looking at our predictive analytics, they're able to be treated differently for the very first time, right? And the magic part is, after you coin out from inpatient, let's say they want to continue their recovery, which, by the way, going through it, I suggest the more time in treatment, the better, because, dude, 30 days ain't enough. If you could do it, please do it. And not for me, do it for yourself. But when you get into outpatient of sorts, or, sober, whatever the case may be, you have regular check-ins at that point, but you're free to go about your day. And what we're finding even then is we're constantly getting insights on this individual, even how they sleep, even how many hours they sleep. So when somebody asks you, like in the past, like they asked me when I was in treatment, how do you feel? Honestly, how the hell do I know how I feel? I haven't felt in 25 years. What am I supposed to tell you? You know what I mean? I feel bad. Or when they told you, how are you sleeping? And you're like, okay. Well, now when somebody's wearing our watch and they're in an outpatient setting, we know how they're sleeping. That same person may say, I'm sleeping okay, but our analytics will say that person has been sleeping about 4 hours every 2 days. Now, it happened. Flint's clinic, it only took a week. It only took a week after implementation for him to be able to step in 3 separate times, 3 separate clients, and jump in because they saw what the trends were showing and adjust treatment. That's like unheard of.
Unheard of in this industry.
Correct.
Absolutely unheard of, because a lot of times that physician, if it's not a quote absolute emergency, the staff probably isn't going to call them to the morning. They're probably not going to call back until the afternoon. Again, it's perfectly right what they're doing, but it's just a time frame.
Right.
And so now that time frame has done this, and it's gone down to this instead of out like this. So it's again as beneficial as it gets right there.
Yeah. And so, I'm not singling you out, Flindt. I know I'm very proud of what we've done together, and I know you are too. But it was a great example to use because it was like you saw it. I mean, we're friends. We go back years, right? And even that, as friends aside, right? This is a business about helping others. Okay, so let's look at it through that lens. When you saw those results for yourself, you called me like right away. You're like, oh my God, this happened and this happened and this happened. And you just couldn't stop. Next thing you know, we got cameras at your place and the news is covering our story, right? Something special started there. I mean, and that exposure, by the way, and your explanation of it allowed other treatment centers to find out about us that started calling. And
sure, but here's the thing. This is what I find very interesting. When I'm out in the general public and I'm talking to, let's just say the general mom and pop, right? And I'm explaining OpiAID to them. They're like, "Are you kidding me? This is the best news that I've ever heard." And that comes from anybody that's a lawyer, that's a doctor, that's a farmer, that works in a pharmacy, right? Mm-hmm. But now when you start talking to a few people in treatment, I'm not saying everybody here, but when you start talking to a few people in treatment, they're like, "Oh, yeah, that sounds pretty good." And I'm going, "What do you mean sounds pretty good?"
Well,
are you so used to doing things the same way we did it 50 years ago? And again, we've got lots of clients on our side here, right? But it's like you still want to continue with what we've done 50 years ago. I said, you sound like a politician to me.
I mean, I don't think anybody does, and here's the special thing. And I'm glad we're talking kind of unplugged about this because this is important. Your viewers and listeners are really sharp. I mean, they get it. But you got to kind of look at this. This is cutting edge technology. Back in 2018, it was a nothing, right? It was just a vision and a founder that believed that this is something that was needed in the market. And since 2018, it evolved. But it's cutting edge, bleeding edge technology. So what did I have to do? I had to explain it to people who are in recovery or know somebody in recovery to let them know, hey, there's something new, there's a better way, okay? Right. And I also had to educate the clinics, the treatment centers themselves, who I don't have to tell you are pretty much stuck in their ways. I mean, doesn't mean they're bad. It's just they have a way of doing things, and this is so new. They want to kick the tire, so to speak, drive it around. I mean, it's almost unbelievable, right? But when you start putting it in real terms, brick and mortar, when you start with New Perceptions North and we power it up with our technology and you start seeing those success stories over and over and over again, all of a sudden people are just like, oh, what is that again? Yeah. Right?
Absolutely.
Why does McDonald's advertise every day? If they're so big, why do they advertise every day? It's because people need reminders. They forget.
They do.
There's no difference here. I mean, me doing a podcast with you isn't going to like cure cancer, but it's constant explaining over and over and showing success stories and on to the next treatment center that we power up. and showing those success stories and on. So until, like, my goal is to be well represented all over the country for the client,
Right.
for the client to be able to have the choice to
Right.
walk into a treatment center and say, oh, do you guys have that technology? Oh, great. Right?
Right.
Up until now, it's a couple places spattered around the country. We're growing, but
Right.
but by comparison, by population, it's just it's a fraction of what it needs to be.
Well,
And
again, I think we're so new
yeah,
in all of this as well, right? That it's we're just not all going to sudden get 75 million treatment centers here,
correct.
right? They're going to want to hear it again and again, or they may not pick up on a piece of something we say, and then they think about it later, and then they've got to call us and ask us a question. And I get that, right?
Yeah.
I totally understand that thing. And so my hope, obviously, as well with you, is that this thing just starts again, as it already is. It's already moving forward in this because people are going, wow, 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 right? That by, in 2 years, let's say, that we've got 80% of the treatment industry having OpiAID there. And by the way, in that 2 years, you said something a long time ago that made so much sense to me. And I think people need to understand this. You said when Jobs came up with the Apple One, did he wait till the 16 before he sent it out there?
Nope.
No, right? He sent out that Apple One knowing that technology was going to increase and get better as every Apple iPhone got out there. Can you imagine what the Apple 25 is going to be like?
Right.
So now can you imagine what that watch is? We're probably going to have one of those little pieces that just fit on your shoulder by then.
Do you know that since we started with your place, you've gone through maybe like 4 or 5 upgrades?
Yeah.
I mean, 4 or 5 upgrades. So it's exactly like the iPhone. At rest, at night, it usually uploads a different version, right? Every maybe couple times a month. That's technology, man. I mean,
Right.
I'm not the tech guy, but I definitely understand cutting edge technology stays cutting edge. And also it learns from users constantly. So the more people that are using it, the more it learns and the better it gets. And we get different features, more powerful features, different graphics. I mean, it's all and for the better.
Right.
So I am really pleased about the results because this message kind of spreads like wildfire. I mean, even to the point, like, I've rejected treatment centers.
I get it.
Yeah, we're looking for the right fit. I'm looking for a forward-thinking, like-minded treatment center that, for lack of a better word, looks at the client and says, "Look, I'm here to make you better. I'm going to do everything in my power to make you have a successful recovery. And after that, I really don't want to see you again."
I do. You know what, Dino? That is so important you say that, because that's our philosophy here at New Perceptions North. Once you come to us, honestly, we care about you. We want to get you better because, again, being in recovery for as long as I have been and what I went through, I don't want anybody ever having to go through that. I, honest to God, don't want to see you again, and I certainly don't want to grow old with you.
Right. Right.
Well, and I think that's one of the interesting aspects that stands out to me around this when you speak of people is, hey, there are some of us old school individuals, or, okay, I'm not going to say that. A lot of my recoveries around neuroscience-based practices, creating new neural pathways. But you have those people, well, this is how I got that way. Why would we need this? It's like, well, if we could have gotten you there quicker, a lot quicker, wouldn't you have embraced it? And I see that as some of that pushback around it, right? Well, these are the ways we did it. Yeah, back in the 1940s when it started. We're not there anymore. We're coming up on 2026. Let's embrace all this so that we can get someone there quicker, more effectively, in a way that sticks, that doesn't fade away. As Flindt was saying, you, Dino, me, when we lovingly don't want you to come back because you found a life of greater value and you're living it and doing it. Like, that's what we want. Prosperity for you.
Yep. And you know what? That's such a good point. And to go back to your 1949 example, in 1949, they didn't have the kind of drugs that are out there now. Okay. It was, I'm not going to say it was easier to quit or whatever, but some of the stuff out in the market is just very scary. Addiction is a scary thing, no matter what your drug of choice is. It was never a game, but for sure now it's so much harder for people. And so I don't look at our technology as something that replaces the old technology. I just say this is the latest, greatest, newest thing. And by all means, use it in conjunction with the other tools that historically we have.
Mm-hmm.
Sure,
Include
sure.
AA, whatever.
Of course, look, that still has to be a part of it. Okay, because I do want to make this clear to everybody. And Dino and Jason, you both agree with me, and you better than most. Look, this is not a fix-all for the addict's addiction. This is giving treatment the heads up, just like you said, that personalized care like an athlete, right? This is, I'll say it's a no BS situation here. You can't BS us anymore, because as addicts and alcoholics, that's what we're very, very good at. All right, is BSing our treatment people, right? Unless you're a recovering BS person, okay?
Well, if you're an addict, you're a recovering BS person,
right? That's my point. But you guys are talking about recovery, and of course, my mind, everybody knows my mind's a little screwy anyway, okay? But I go back to the Keeley Institutes that happened back in the 40s, 50s, and even up to 1966. Right? We're still doing the same thing the Keeley Institutes did. They had a 30-day program instead of a 28-day. Seriously, everybody can Google this. Instead of a 28-day program, this clown was actually injecting people with a miracle substance that happened to have a little liquid gold in it. So, he, KILLED'd a few people along the way, right?
Liquid gold.
Liquid gold. That's a fact, right? So that was 1966. It's a long time ago, but come on. Okay, I mean, even then. So again, the technology portion of this thing, I look at technology today, and it's amazing what they're doing with it. It is amazing. Even our own doctors now. I mean, I am just thrilled with actually the medical help that I'm getting, just as age is catching up with these physicians. Now, look what this is doing for treatment. My God, this is the step I think that all of us have been waiting for all of these years. And what I don't want to see is and it never will. It will never reach that point where it just stops. It's always going to be evolving. It's always going to be getting better, right? So now everybody in the future has a shot at this.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know if there's anything better than that, to be honest with you.
Well, and Flindt, tell me, and Dino, I never did treatment, but what are kind of, the three-prong approach that you face, right? That we have to do, right? We have to biological, psychological, and social. Now, with OpiAID, we can sit and it's monitored, right? We're monitoring your biology in real time, more effective. There it is. And we can get that wonderful indicator. Okay, client X, we saw an anxiety spike here. What was going on psychologically, socially? What is going on with you? So we can take a look at that, see what that is, and extrapolate from that. It just enhances the part of it, because you two gentlemen know there's things we had to change. I had to change the way that I was thinking, and I had to change who I was getting together with, interacting with, and so on. I needed a doctor to tell me to do those things on the biological side, the physical side. What did I need to adjust there? Well, I'll tell you now. If I had the option of an outpatient program, they're strapping something to my wrist, because I use technology frequently, even coming up on 5 years of continuous living alcohol free, boy, would have been huge. still huge now as I continue to advance who and what I am as a person. I need and appreciate that kind of tooling that
Right.
gives me that indicator back. Like, oh, that's why I was kind of feeling that in that moment. That was an anxiety attack. What the heck was going on at 8:29 p.m.? Oh, I had this X, Y, and Z going on. It's incredibly forward thinking.
Right.
But one of the cool things too, you mentioned social, right? So you're wearing a watch. This one happens to be a Samsung Galaxy watch. Very sleek. We don't have any markings on there. It doesn't say opiate. It doesn't say alcoholic. It doesn't have a dunce hat. It's not meant to embarrass you. It's meant to, give people who are struggling, dignity and respect. And I will tell you this, Jason, I know you didn't go into treatment, but you've heard a lot of the stories. I will tell you that when you get out and you're doing outpatient, wherever that is, it's terrifying.
Hmm.
It's terrifying because the times that you want to interact with somebody, a professional, they're not around. It's usually at night. Addiction isn't a 9 to 5 problem. It's a 24/7 problem, right? But unfortunately, most people keep 9 to 5 hours. It's kind of hard to interact, right? And then
Right.
the next day, you're in sheer terror. Here's what I noticed with wearing the watch. Not only is it providing that real-time biometric insights to the clinician so they could see the trends, but it also is able to send surveys and questionnaires through the watch so that the client can answer. Even a score, like what's your craving score right now from 1 to 6, rate your craving score. Will you believe that they will answer the watch more truthfully than they'll answer a clinician to their face?
Yeah.
which is
Makes
which is
sense.
which is crazy, but I get it. So
Makes sense.
one of the comfort things, the feedback that I'm getting from all the places that we've powered up already is that the client feels better. It's a psychological thing, feels better knowing that they're wearing a watch that is monitoring them 24/7. It's just a psychological comfort of knowing that, hey, you know what? These guys are sending all this stuff to my doctor. And so the next time I see my doctor, they know exactly what to do or exactly what to adjust or provide counseling or whatever the treatment is. That I didn't expect. Okay,
Hmm.
psychological thing. But the more stories that are coming out, dude, I thrive on this stuff
Yeah.
because this is great for me. I'm just like, give me every story you got. I mean, I love this.
Well, let me ask the question there. I'll start with Flindt. Do you think the reason that a recovering addict would be more prone to being honest with the technologies, it eliminates that fear of judgment, right? It just wants the data and honesty.
Well, look, I look, yes, to answer the question. I also believe that there is something deep down inside of us, to put it in real layman's terms, we're wearing our doctor on our wrist,
Hmm.
Yeah.
right? And so when we know that, that makes all the difference in the world. There's nothing worse than having to try to call a doctor, especially now, and try to get an appointment, try to go see him, her, him, or blah 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 blah. We just want to do that. Boom. But it's but what it's also going to do, and I think this is very important for those that will continue to come in that think that that they're still going to be able to beat this thing. All right. There are people that are coming in just because they're being forced to come in. They're coming in for all the wrong reasons. So I believe that this watch is going to help that person, obviously, that means business,
Hmm.
that wants to get clean and sober, because now they understand they're not being lied to anymore. Right? Because a lot of times those doctors did not have all the answers to what they were going through. So now you've got that portion. But for those that are just there because they're a rehab specialist, and they've been to 7 of them, right? And they're going to continue to go to this thing just to go for a little vacation so they can get some sleep. This is going to be the telltale sign, because every one of those addicts, we're putting the watch on them. Now some of those people may take that watch off and say, I'm out of here. Well, we can't strap them to the bed. We can't kidnap them. Much as I want to, we can't. So again, I think we got the better side to everything here. I definitely know that. But we're still going to probably have a little bit of that of that going on. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, it does make sense. But think about the name, bro. OpiAID. It's not Opie Solve. We can't solve everybody's problems.
Correct.
Like anything else. If you got to want it, I mean, that's the first step. Not, and keep in mind, not everybody's going to go to a treatment center. I went to a treatment center because I couldn't do it on my own. None of these self-remedies are going to work. Nothing that you study on Google or your friend tells you, well, just pop a bunch of Valium and sleep for 3 days and you'll be fine. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay.
And we've all tried these crazy things because anything but go to treatment. But, when you get to a point where you're having convulsions and you think you might have a heart attack and you're just like the most antisocial, zombie on the planet, it's time to go. I knew, dude, this is not going to be a job for me. I'm not going to be a professional recoverer. I'm going in and I'm coming out. You guys will never see me again. And I almost didn't make it. And the reason I almost didn't make it is because outpatient was a horrible experience for me. I'm not going to blame my doctor. I'm going to blame me, and I'm going to tell you why.
Sure.
Because when they're asking me, how do you feel? What are you experiencing? I kept saying, I don't know. Well, what's your craving? I don't know. How are you feeling? I don't know. Are you happy? I don't know. I mean, how do you expect them to treat you when you can't even explain how you're doing? Okay. If you really think about this silly, antiquated back and forth that we do with a clinician, you know what? It comes out to an educated guess. And I'm sorry, medical industry, that I'm saying this, but that's what it comes down to.
Right.
Now, for the first time, technology is all around us. It has been for many years, and we see it with our own eyes in cars, in planes, in toys, in technology, everything except addiction recovery. Now, for the first time, we're incorporating this into addiction recovery, helping people recover quicker, like an athlete, if I'm going to use that example. You're going to look at things differently, right? You're going to look at things like, okay, now I have data that doesn't have feelings, it doesn't have bad days, it doesn't have bad moods, it doesn't have a gripe against me or anything like that. And it's going to objectively give this information for the first time to be interpreted. That's powerful.
Right.
Yeah.
Extremely powerful.
Well, and I'll do a little car analogy, as I like cars. You gentlemen know that.
Hey.
My car, you know what it'll do? Hey, cruise control, that's been around forever, but it also has a lane proximity thing that'll automatically shift if I'm going outside the lines, as well as it has a distance sensor in front of it that I can change. Hey, a nice wearable piece of technology that would go, yeah, Jason, that's a little bit of anxiety. We're going to let your doctor know about this too. You got your little alert. Ooh. You know what I need to do? I need to get a little sun. I need a little bit of a walk. Calm that down. I need to do a little breath work. I need to do some journaling. I need to text Dino or Flindt and give them a call. Whatever it is. Those nice little indicators that keep you in the lanes, keep you at a safe distance and cruising forward. Right there. Boom. There you go.
Dude, that's a great example.
That's a great example.
Beautiful.
Right?
That's because here's
I'm going to hit the circuit with you, Dino. Let's go.
You got to do that. Awesome.
Because the other part of that thing is look, I don't care. I mean, I care, but I don't. If you have 2 years of recovery, 5 years of recovery, or 20 years, 25 years, whatever it is, we all still have those moments where we may not be craving the drug, because those cravings for me now, I'm sorry, they're gone. Okay. They're in fact, I hate them so bad. I don't even want anything to do with them. Right. but when I do have those moments of anxiety, I do have those moments of depression. I do have those times when I'll be honest with you, I need somebody to go, hey dude, take a walk. Okay. Go out and get some fresh air. Go do something because you're a dick. Okay. I mean, seriously, so how cool would that have been in my early days of getting help, in order to have that little voice basically going, hey man, we it's also saying we got you.
Yeah.
It's also saying we got you. That's key.
I think the younger generation is they're already technologically savvy. And I say younger generation because I'm 60. I can say it.
Yeah, you can say it now.
Yeah, I can say it now, finally. But, they get it. They're around technology. They've embraced technology. It's not a far stretch to have a wearable on your wrist. Everybody's doing it. Everybody's using different wearables for different things. This one just happens to be for the field of addiction recovery. You know what I mean? And I find it as an extremely useful tool that one day we will have enough implementation in clinics, treatment centers, and doctors' offices where everybody theoretically will have a dashboard, right? And a client, short-term recovery and long-term recovery, can literally be wearing a watch and check in occasionally with their regular doctor, and all this information would be there. But until that time, which is, in the future, obviously that's talking about saturating the market. Until that time, if we get enough representation from some really forward-thinking, open-minded treatment centers that were well represented coast to coast and everywhere in the middle, it gives people looking for a second chance options. And that's all I'm trying to do. These are options I never had when I was going through my stuff. I know, Flindt, you didn't have this going through your stuff. Jason, you didn't. And we had to struggle and, like word of mouth. Hey, is this a good place? Because I was worried about going to places. Sometimes they have better drugs in the treatment centers than they do outside,
They do.
And I was terrified. I'm like, what is this like? Is it like being in jail? Is this like house arrest? I mean, what the hell is it? I don't know.
Right.
So it's a terrifying experience, and it's nice to know that you have something that's watching you, that's working with your doctor, that it's a second set of eyes for the doctor. We're not replacing the doctor. We're just making them like Superman.
Right.
You only have so much time to look at so many things. If you have everything in real time right in front of you, now you can make split-second decisions because you know your client better than anybody.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, Dino, you just came up with a great pun to use as a marketing tag. OpiAID, it's watching you. Oh,
You know what? That's a good one. And I also like the one that you were doing, Jason LaChance, I love my car, or whatever, whatever you were doing. That's a great one too. I think we need to do we got to hit the road and do like a comedy act / recovery tour.
I think that has to be done, man. It just has to be done.
Man, I always have such a good time with you guys. I miss you guys, but we are moving forward. I am really pleased. And Flindt, if I didn't tell you before, thank you very much for your support, because you're like the local, the California authority on recovery. Everybody, all the news comes to you first. There's a carfentanil thing, go to Flindt. Oh, there's a fentanyl problem, go to Flindt. There was a drug bust, let's cover Flindt, And the minute that you had this technology in your center, I mean, the cameras were there in seconds, dude. And it was because of that it created this awareness that other people started to take notice. And you just see it now. I mean, we've had, a couple other treatment centers that have been integrated, a couple on the East Coast, and now we just partnered with Kingsview, that organization, which provides support to 90,000 special cases a year. Right. That's like a small city.
Right.
So we're more, but even that, is just scratching the surface on the amount of people that need help. And so we need to kind of saturate the rest of the country too.
Yes,
Absolutely. And I believe that, there may come a time, when, maybe the three of us, whatever it is, maybe we do have to go to some of these medical conventions and get this explained to those doctors. So we've got those people at one location at one time instead of trying to go here and there and this place and that place, and just do what we just did. Because like you said in the beginning of the show, let's just talk about this. Right.
Yeah.
Let's not try to try not to get too technical here. Let's
in simple terms, I think that athlete example works because we're all kind of amazed at the speedy recovery of professional athletes. And you're thinking to yourself, of course, but why wouldn't it be in other aspects of our lives? Right.
Right.
So the thing that I would say is this is very special. I love doing your podcast. You guys have an amazing audience because they are very loyal. So I'm not asking for money. I'm not asking for people to follow me or subscribe or anything like that. The only thing that I would ask is help spread the word. If you can do that, that would be wonderful. Right. We can move the needle faster together, and that would be a great thing.
I agree. Yes, I totally agree. Thanks, guys.
Mr. Andersen, anything else from you, good sir?
I'll tell you what, we covered just damn near everything. Okay. It's, look, I agree with Dino. I agree with not only with everything that we said, but we do need help to spread this word even more and more. We're not asking for money. We're not asking you to follow us. We're not asking for any of those things. This is important for the recovery community. End of story. It's important for those that are still struggling out there. As these drugs get stronger and stronger and more addictive, by the way, they are getting more addictive. So lethal. Also, right, and lethal. So at some point, we are, even though we have tried it, we've continued to do this over the past to try to get these laws changed in order to get the insurance companies off our backs, so to speak, and provide us with more time for our clients. And now with the technology of OpiAID, now we've got a chance. Now we've got a shot at getting the people the help that they need.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And if you want more information on OpiAID, check the link in the podcast description as well. The number to actually contact Dino's in there. And I am actually going to be the guy, because it's my job to say, hey, if this is your first time listening, please hit that follow button on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel. And if you haven't subscribed to that, make sure to go to youtube.com/@painnonprofit. Subscribe. Hit the bell to get all the alerts, and hit the thumb up on this video, and please leave a comment in the comments section as well.